What's up guys, I am Matt, back with another video. Today we're going to check out a mod from Wismec, one of the newest in the Rouleau line. This is the RX2-3. All right, this is the Rouleau RX2-3 made by Wismec. It's basically a new model in the Rouleau series. It's got the same board as the RX200S. The big difference with this one is that you can use it with 2 batteries or with 3 batteries. So you have that option. With 2 batteries, it does make it quite a bit smaller like this and makes it a lot more pocketable. It's also slightly taller than the 200S because the design of the battery doors. In dual 18650 mode, it will go up to 150 watts and or 6 volts. And in triple 18650 mode, it will go up to 200 watts and or 9 volts. So right now I do have the Star Pure tank on here. It's reading 0.29, 70 watts. Let's go ahead and vape it. Yeah, I've been using this mod quite a bit. You guys know I'm a big fan of the Rouleau series. So what we'll go ahead and do now is dive down to the table and take a closer look at it. All right, guys, here is the packaging for the Rouleau RX2-3. Inside, normally you're gonna have your mod right there. And then you're also gonna have a nice detailed user manual. And then underneath that, a charging cord. So now let's get to the goods here. Here's the mod. I have it in the 2 battery mode right now. And then here is the 3 battery extension, okay? So there's what it looks like in dual battery mode. It's basically like a Rouleau to RX200S, but shorter that way. Kind of like a triangle with one of the edges cut off or dog-eared. Pretty interesting, and I really like this shape. It does have the same adjustable 510 pins, spring-loaded, just like what the RX200, RX200S had. Now, if you look right there, that outer circle right there, I believe is about 24 millimeters, but you could still put a 25 millimeter tank on here and it doesn't hang over or anything, and it makes connections. So see how that looks like? Anything bigger than 25 and it might start looking weird. Now on the side there, you do have battery venting. You do got that same power button, nice and clicky. There's a charge port and a port to upgrade your device. I always just charge my batteries on the outside. I think that that's better. I think most people do that as well. I'm not going to get into this board too much because we've seen this before. There's so many reviews out there on the 200S, but just real quick, it's three clicks. And then you can start scrolling through variable wattage, TC nickel, TC titanium, TC stainless steel, and then you can go down that way and adjust your wattage. So, you know, we've seen this before. If you're unfamiliar with this board, check out an RX200S review, but it's a board that I like quite a bit. 5 clicks turns it off. And so, you know, these RX boards have just enough functionality for me. You know, the DNA 200s, I use them. I don't use them to their fullest, but having all these different modes, stainless steel mode, and then having a couple TCR modes is just perfect. And that's why I've always liked these RX boards. So moving on, let's take a look at the big deal with this one. And that is you can change it from 2 batteries to 3 batteries. Now, you have this little button down here, and that releases this door. And one thing to note real quick is that it doesn't work with the door off. So see with the door, you got 2 contacts right there. And then there's obviously the strip that connects them both. And so it just doesn't work without those. I think they had to do that in order to accommodate for the 3 battery. So that's what's different. And that makes it a little bit taller as well. This makes it just a little taller than the normal RX200. Now, if you want to go into 3 battery mode, it's pretty simple. Pop these first 2 batteries in, like so. And then you take the 3 battery door and pop that battery in. Not sure if you can see it, but it is marked positive, negative. And so then to install both of these doors, you kind of do an angle and up sort of thing. So these 2 little pieces right there go in these slots, and then it clicks down here. Now let's take a look at, I grabbed an RX 200 here, and as you can see, the shape is just about the same, but is slightly taller. By probably 5 millimeters, maybe more. Another difference between these two is that in 3 battery mode, let's see, I'm gonna put a tank on here that has a higher ohm load. It goes up to 200 watts in 3 battery mode, we know that, but the voltage maxes out at 9 volts, as you can see right there. So with this tank that has a 0.55 build in it, it'll go up to 147 watts in 3 battery mode. Now let's go back to 2 battery mode, and now that we're in 2 battery mode, it only maxes out at 6 volts, even though this does have the capability to go up to 150 watts. So you're only going to get that 150 watts and 200 watts with a lower ohm build. This does fire down to 0.1 when in variable wattage mode, 0.05 when in temperature control mode. So like a 0.55 build like this is when it's in 2 battery mode will only give you up to 65 watts. So it can be a little limiting with some sub-ohm tanks. So here I have it with the Star Pier tank. I do like this combo, and I do really like it in dual battery mode. It fits in the hand quite well and makes it a lot more pocketable. So let's go ahead, go back up top, vape this, and talk about it a little more. All right, here it is in the RX2 mode. I have the Black Star Pier on here now, 70 watts, reading 0.28. Here we go. Yeah, it's just a very, very nice mod. I really do like the RX series boards that Wismec uses in a lot of their mods. It's just kind of a no-nonsense board that still has a good amount of features. You can use it in all the different temp control modes that you want, the TCRs, and I've never really had a problem with it. It's also user upgradable, so that is obviously a plus. As a whole, it's very, very, very similar to the RX 200S. If you're content with the RX 200S and are fine using the 3 batteries and you're fine with the size of it, then obviously you don't need this. But if you do like the Rouleau series a lot and you want one that's a little bit smaller that holds 2 batteries, then here you go. That's this guy. I've used the Rouleaus a lot over the last year. I've used the 2 battery one a lot more than the 3 battery one ever since I've got it, because it's still got a nice form factor to it, still feels really nice and solid, but I can put it in my pocket now. The bigger Rouleaus just weren't really very pocketable unless you're, putting it in like maybe a coat pocket or like baggy jeans or something. And so this makes it quite a bit more pocketable and obviously a little bit lighter. If you're someone that maybe hasn't tried out the Rouleau series yet, then this would be a good one to try because of the options. Can do 3 batteries or 2. So it just depends. Like I said, if you are an RX 200S owner and you're totally fine with it, there's no reason to really need this because it still has the same functionality. Just the big difference is the smaller form factor, because you can put it in dual 18650 mode, which makes it smaller. So if that attracts you and you want to use 2 batteries in a mod like this, then this might be for you. It's not too expensive either. As far as cons on it, the biggest con for me personally is the fact that when in dual 18650 mode, it'll only go up to 6 volts. Okay, that's a con for me because when I use things like the Heracles Pro that has the 1.8 ohm ceramic coils, I can't use those because I need more voltage than what that will give. When I use, something that's got a basically higher ohm load than like 0.5, then you start running into issues. Like I showed you guys in the up close with 0.55, it would give us like 60 something watts. And so if you like to vape more than that, then there might be a problem. So that's just something that you're gonna have to kind of figure out what you vape a lot and what wattage you vape at, and if 6 volts is gonna be enough in this mode. It's obviously fine with a lower ohm like this, 0.28, it's giving me 70 watts, 4.43 volts, and so, that's great. I don't ever need 150 or 200 watts, so it's really the voltage that I'm worried about. But obviously, it's nice that it does give you some options. You can put it in 3 battery mode if you're wanting to use something that you need a little more voltage for, or obviously you need more wattage for, and that'll give it to you. So all in all, it does get a thumbs up from me. It's about 55 bucks, so I definitely think that's worth it if you're in the market for a new mod. And this is one that I'm going to continue to use. I like it quite a bit. So I will put a link in the description for where you can pick this up. Don't forget also to check out our new channel, Matt and V, link in the description as well. That about wraps it up, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching. Suck my mod.